All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about your first year in real estate. And look, we're going to skip the flashy TV show stuff. This is a real, no-nonsense blueprint for building an actual, sustainable business, starting from the moment you get your license. But first, let's just start with a heavy dose of reality. This quote from an agent on Reddit, wow, it just hits you right between the eyes, doesn't it? No sugarcoating. The highs are high, sure, but the lows, the unstable pay, the grind, it can be absolutely brutal. The stakes here are incredibly high.
So that's the nightmare scenario, right? And it brings up the single most important question we're going to tackle. How do you make sure that's not your story? How do you actually beat the odds and build something that lasts, not just a glorified, stressful side hustle? Well, that's exactly what this blueprint is for.
Before we get into the how, we got to be real about the what. We have to understand the landscape. So let's start with a quick, hard-hitting reality check of the industry itself. Just look at this number for a second. 600,000. That's roughly how many agents quit the business in 2024. Now look, that's not to scare you. It's to prove a really critical point. Getting your license, that's just the price of admission. It gets you in the door. Winning the game takes a completely different set of tools.
So what is it? What's the big secret that separates the people who thrive from those who barely survive? It all comes down to one absolutely crucial shift in how you think.
And this is it. This quote nails it. You are not an employee. Let me say that again. You are not an employee. You are the CEO, the head of marketing, the chief salesperson, and the janitor of You Incorporated. Every single thing you do is an investment in your own company. And what does every real business need? A plan. A real plan starts with real goals, not just wishes. That's where SMART goals come in. It's the difference between saying, I hope I sell some houses, and saying, I will close 6 deals in my first year by generating 2 qualified leads every single week. See that? One is a dream. The other is a target you can actually aim for.
Okay, so you've got the mindset on lock. You're a business owner now, so let's get tactical. Let's get into the actual playbook for your first 90 days, which are without a doubt the most critical period of your new career.
We're breaking this down into 3 simple phases. Month 1 is all about resetting and rebuilding your foundation. Month 2 is about reconnecting and reactivating your network. And month 3, that's when we expand and accelerate. Let's dig in, starting with month 1. Now look, month 1 is not the sexy stuff, okay? But I promise you, it is the most important. You're cleaning up your database, your CRM. That thing isn't just an address book, it's the command center for your entire business. You're figuring out your top 50, your core group of supporters. And you're starting circle prospecting, which is just a fancy way of saying you're calling the neighbors around a new listing or a recent sale. This is the bedrock. Don't skip. All right, the foundation is poured. In month 2, we start building. This is all about connection. But notice the key here. You're reaching out with value. You're not just calling to ask for business. You're giving them a market update or some useful info. You're becoming a resource, not just a salesperson. And you're getting out there, systematically following up with open house leads and showing your face at local events. Month 3 is where we hit the gas. This is all about building momentum so your business becomes predictable. You're not trying to do a million things at once. You pick 1 or 2 ways to get leads and you just master them. You do them every single week. You're aiming for appointments, you're making it a habit to ask for referrals, and you're actually tracking what's working so you can do more of it. But listen, a 90-day plan is just a map. It's great, but a map won't get you anywhere without a car. And this, your weekly routine, this is the engine that drives the whole thing forward. So what's the fuel for that engine? Activity. And here's your first magic number, 100. 100 outbound calls, 100 conversations every single week. It's not about being perfect on every call. It's about the discipline of pure volume to create opportunities. Your next number is 2 open houses every week. And please stop thinking of an open house as just sitting in an empty home. It's not. It's a live event. It's your pop-up shop. You are the host, you are the neighborhood expert, and everyone walking through that door is a potential future client. And your final number for the week? 10. 10 handwritten notes. Yeah, I know, it sounds kind of old-fashioned, but in a world where everyone's inbox is overflowing with junk, a personal, handwritten note, it cuts through all that noise like a hot knife through butter. It makes you unforgettable.
So how in the world do you fit all this in? Simple. You don't find the time, you make the time. This is called time blocking, and it's what the pros do. You can see how this works, right? Mornings are for money-making activities, the calls. You protect that time like it's gold. Afternoons are for everything else. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a non-negotiable schedule for building a business.
Okay, your weekly engine is humming along. That's fantastic. That's how you get business this month. But what about next year or 5 years from now? Let's talk about building something that lasts a lifetime.
I want you to think about your marketing like a flywheel. It starts slow, but once it gets spinning, it creates its own momentum. Step 1. Prepare your CRM to catch every single lead. Step 2. Develop something that's actually useful. Step 3. Converse by sharing it everywhere. And finally, Step 4. Target your follow-up with the people who actually showed interest. Then you just repeat over and over.
So where are these people you're going to talk to? Well, here are the big channels. You've got to be consistent on social media. You have to nurture the people you already know. Don't forget about them. You need to be findable on Google, and you can always reach out to folks trying to sell their own home, the FSBOs. You don't have to do it all, but you have to get great at one or two.
And speaking of being findable, can we talk about your profile picture for a second? Seriously, it needs to be the exact same professional, clear photo everywhere. Don't use a picture of your cat on one site and a blurry selfie from 5 years ago on another. It's your digital handshake. People need to recognize you instantly. Make it a good one.
I'm going to give you one simple habit that will absolutely transform your business. It's the 10 before 10 rule. Your job is to make contact with 10 people before 10 a.m. every single day. It sounds so simple, but that relentless consistency is a secret weapon. Almost nobody does it. If you do, you will win.
And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. Every call, every note, every open house, you have to remember this isn't about just getting one commission check. You are playing the long game. You're not just making a sale, you are building a brand. You're building a reputation that will feed you and your family for years to come.
So there it is, the whole blueprint, from the high-level mindset down to the daily habits. The plan is right here, in front of you. But the strategy isn't the hard part. The hard part is the discipline to actually do it, day in and day out. So the only question left is, are you ready to build?